fund.
Welcome back. You're still with us on Startup Street. We're kicking off a special series called the Unicorn Health Check with the aim to create a report card of our most valued startups, delving deep into what's working and what's not. Today, we will look at Fintech, which is a sector with the most number of unicorns in India. My colleague Akhil Vishwanath joins us now with the report card. Akhil?
India is home to 17 fintech unicorns, followed by SaaS and e-commerce with 16 each. Interestingly, if you exclude Paytm, all of India's fintech unicorns have been created post-demonetization, the moment that ushered India into the age of digital payments. Cumulatively, over 7,000 fintech startups in India have raised over $30 billion till date, most of which have come over the last 2 years. Now, that's after the pandemic brought the biggest digital shift in the financial services industry since demonetization. By the end of FY21, fintech startups had control over 8% of India's $1.4 trillion BFSI industry. By FY26, their share could rise to more than 15% for a $350 billion chunk of the market. Now, what's fueling these market share gains is India's rapid adoption of fintech. At 87% adoption rate, India's financial industry is going digital faster than the world. Now, that's both an opportunity and a challenge. As we can see, there is still a long way to go when we look at the general population, where the penetration stands at about 25%, and when we talk about credit to MSMEs, the fintech penetration stands at about 15 to 20%. Now, India's fintech landscape is certainly changing, and it's going beyond just payments. If you look at the list of unicorns, it gives us a clear picture. We have credit card challengers like Slice and OneCard, MSME financiers like Oxizo, and even a marketplace for loans like Cred Avenue. Now let's take a stock of financial health of some of our top fintech unicorns. Now let's start with PhonePe. India's most valued fintech, PhonePe also rules the UPI market with nearly 50% market share. But the zero MDR regime has meant a struggle to monetize UPI transactions. In FY22, PhonePe spent 2.25 rupees to earn a single rupee of operating revenue. Now, losses for FY23 could also be higher due to tax loss after the Walmart-owned company recently shifted its domicile to India. It is now in the process of closing a $1 billion funding round to scale new verticals such as lending and stockbroking. Next up is BharatPe, which is fighting multiple battles at multiple fronts. The soundbox battle with PhonePe and Paytm, and a power tussle in the boardroom. And even as the legal battle continues, BharatPe continued to burn cash, 3.25 rupees for every rupee earned. Although its 5,600 crore loss was attributed to an accounting change, it was the highest reported by Unicorn in FY22. Now, moving away from the QR code players, let's take a look at the fintech that is profitably becoming a full-stack player, Razorpay. And now Razorpay, alongside Oxizo, is amongst the only two fintech unicorns that are profitable. And besides SaaS, Razorpay is also amongst the few homegrown unicorns that are making a global foray. Now let's bring up the curious case of Open, the Tiger Global-backed neobanking platform, which is amongst the least funded fintech unicorns, but is the most overvalued at 195 times its FY22 revenue. Loss stood at 4 times its revenue, with a cash burn of 5.5 rupees to earn a single rupee of operating income. But that's a big improvement on 14 rupees spent to earn a single rupee in FY21. Now moving on to the last of our report cards, which is for Cred, which is, by the way, the most famous now for its quirky ads with the likes of Olympic medalist Neeraj Chopra and Kapil Dev. Now, this kind of a marketing strategy seems to have paid off with a 4x growth in FY22 revenue. But it has certainly come at a cost. The burn stood at 4.3 rupees spent for every single rupee in FY22. Now, that's where the fintech ecosystem stands, and while monetization, regulatory scrutiny, and tighter liquidity continue to be big challenges, the growth is being led by UPI, which, by the way, has gone global.
All right, Akhil, many thanks for those details. But with that, it is a wrap on this edition of Startup Street. More news and updates coming up on the other side. Stay tuned.